Hello guys and welcome to Miraculous, Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir, Season 6, Episode 15 I think. It's missing some type of magic. No. Like, it doesn't have any soul. You're like, He's like, but Dad, I want her to just be evil. Good versus evil. The graphic novel industry. Or the comic, I guess. Okay, and he has more like supported families. They're working on that comic book together. Okay. He's the writer, the other guy is the illustrator. Which I think is pretty common when in comic books, right? A writer and an artist working together. Miraculous. Alright, there was water in that straw. Not water. There was a lot of air in that straw. Okay. Oh, God, please. So what? Since when did she start having like this super sneezes after getting sick? I mean, maybe you should just take a week or two off from school. Be like, you know what, I'm sick. Like, I wanted to be good. It's like, oh wait, people weren't supposed to know. It's trash. No, they're probably gonna say it's good. Oh God, Miranda looks very weird. Like, it's our self-inserts. Alright, it's good. Jesus, please. This is like a horror. Oh God. Oh man, I can't handle stuff like that. Oh God, I'm like completely paralyzed now. I can read a fucking Burgess Girls chapter Animal Caris, but this, something like that, it fucks me up. Body horror, that's fine. This, God no. Okay. It's trash. So they're really setting up that it's a super amazing story. Everything's super good. It's just that his parents don't like it. I don't know, it can't please everyone. Okay, yes, say maybe as inspiration of Marinette and Adrian kissing on a poster. Especially since he's their friend. Now that's, you know what, put the helmets back on. The armor design, like how it looks, pretty good. You know, the art style. But then when he does art of them as humans, it looks pretty bad. I don't like that type of like human art style. I must have missed. Did they show what he did? Like, don't worry, my mom. We weren't sucking each other's dicks. Like, good job. I mean, it doesn't seem like she's against you guys being homosexuals. It's not like she's like, you two are a bunch of faggots. It seems to, maybe he thinks it's that way when it actually, he knows that no. The truth is, she doesn't give a fuck about comics. Or drawing. Well, no, because she drew like a picture, like a portrait, right? Like, oh, plug, what are you doing? Okay, I thought he was gonna be like, plug, stop that with the cheese. Like, if this, and this might be worth a lot of money in the future as well, in case, you know? Okay. I was kind of like, why did they do that blurry thing there? But I think that's something they do, because those right there, like I said, the proofs. Um, those are just to find out. Is it called layering? Like how it's supposed to look in. So instead of having to make a full. Oh. Like, yes. Yeah. Like, I don't want you to make comics. You bitch. I mean, everyone other than mom wanted it, so. Well, let's hope you had copies, you know? I mean, obviously, this is a they are doing this to be kind of like, it's because they're gay. Obviously, that is the whole point. That's what you're thinking. It's supposed to be like oh god, he's using his powers for this shit. Okay, so this all is supposed to just be a joke. I don't like that. I the fact that I've now introduced that it's just probably just gonna be like a one-off joke, like her not disease, her God, why can't I think of the fucking word? Her flu, let's say, is very intense. Laugh. Yeah, I have that thing that makes it so that I can visualize things. So that's why I can't draw in my mind. Huh? I mean, people do that, you deadhead flowers and stuff. So that they will bloom longer. And also, I saw those tomatoes I'm growing. Like 4 tomatoes as well. Like tiny Tim, 2 or 3 tiny Tims, and then 1 or 2 Ola Polka. I thought it was, no, sorry, I thought it was like 3-2, but it might be 4-1. Alright. That's a cool looking wheelchair. Like, stop being a bitch. I mean, the comic industry is big in France, right? And thank fuck it's not just a bunch of like cape shit either. As I'm watching a cape shit show. But I mean, I like this episode so far, and a lot of the things that I've liked is the fact that what's called the things that having to do with superheroes. It's not your fault that the mom is a bitch. And this right here is a bit, I would say, a bit too similar to the, when it comes to like the parents, the Adrian, like his grandparents, where, the richer ones were like complete assholes and the other ones were very supportive. It's the exact same thing here. If they wanted to make the family dynamic a bit more interesting, it would be that if they were gonna do like one guy come from a richer family, that one not, make it so that this guy from the richer family might have the more supportive parents, while the other doesn't, right? But they could be like, that's why the mom is so like anti-comics, and be like, you have to do things that will be like high art, blah blah blah, because she might feel insecure about being from not a high family, you know, so she's compensating. That would be interesting. But I think the reason they didn't do that is because I think they really want to push the. It's supposed to be like a gay allegory, right? I think that's the whole point of this. But maybe they weren't able to do it, so that's why they're making it like it's obviously supposed to be a gay allegory, but they're doing it as comics instead. Which I think is stupid because, I mean, they're already showing that they are gay, right? So why it feels like they're afraid to show, if they wanted to do it, like a parent who's like against it, you know, her son being gay, then just show that. Instead of what they're doing, you know. Like, oh shit, I used up all of my ammunition. I mean, he has really strong powers, right? Well, yes. Cat Noir did as well as you would think he would do. No, wait, didn't you want to? No, you want to bring the air rig, not destroy it. Oh, God. Wait. Is someone going to figure out? Is Adrian gonna see, like, wait a minute. She's sick. My girlfriend is sick. Are they the same? Yeah. Yeah, sure, you're his mother. Doesn't mean, you know, he should live the life you want. It's not like he's hurting anyone drawing some comics. Nice. Alright. She got both of them. So the carabine, is this what's called a carabiner? Save the day. Alright, so I like this. How I like that it was him who saved the day. Someone who wasn't Ladybug actually saved the day. So it's kind of like, okay. Uh, that is kind of like, oh, that's interesting. And it crashed. That's very weird. It's never, if it's gonna crash, it has never taken this long for it to do so. So that's actually pretty interesting that happened. Okay, there we go, we're back. So I just removed the timer. It doesn't matter. Timer's gonna be off. Especially since I can't just put in a specific time code on OBS and then turn it on and then it continues on. So even if I put in, let's say 20 minutes and then say start, it will start 20 minutes. Then it's become 20 minutes 1 second, it becomes just 1 second. So, which is stupid. And she said I stink. They're like, I'm sick. Especially after this scent. I mean, maybe you can blow your nose away from him. Don't need to blow it right towards him. Even if it wasn't that intense. Don't need to do it straight towards him. Well, I guess she figured out that he's a Akuma holder, I guess. Of course. I think it would be good if she's kind of like, you know what, I don't like it, but do it anyways. Alright. Come on. Join in as well. There we go. I hate those drawings. Like, put a helmet on completely, because man, I hate that like human art style. I don't know what that art style is called. But it's the one where you often see that would always have like a red nose or something like that. I don't know what that art style is called, but I hate it. Yeah, of course. He should. Is he also gonna do it? Well, Ladybug, that's why you shouldn't give it to people like that. Yeah, so that was a huge mistake by them. Obviously, keeping that is tough. Oh, well, I guess I'm that guy's boyfriend now. That right there, that last scene right there is probably gonna be very, very important in the ruler finding out their identities, because I feel like she's already figured out a little bit about Nathaniel, which is the guy to the left, to the right, sorry. The guy that I'm cosplaying as right now. Apparently. I can see, he has orange shirt, I have an orange shirt. Jesus. He can draw, I can't. That she is gonna be... She probably has an inkling that there's something about him. And when she finds out who she yeah, because now, if she thinks that he might be a superhero, she's probably gonna target the guy right there, the guy with the blue hair. What are the name? Like, this guy on the right is called Nathaniel. Let's call him Nathaniel's boyfriends. Okay, boyfriend 1 and boyfriend 2. If she finds out that boyfriend 1 is the superhero, she's probably gonna target boyfriend 2 to try and get boyfriend 1 to give up, it's not the Kuma, the Kwame and stuff. And now when boyfriend 2 knows that boyfriend 1 is a superhero, I think something will leak. Then it can also be like, since both of them are superheroes, maybe that will kind of like maybe similar to how Alia and is it Nino? Like Alia's boyfriend, that they both know each other, so. But I don't know, like I don't feel like these guys. I feel like these two guys are gonna be like the weak link at the moment when it comes to keeping the secrets of being a superhero. I mean, we'll see. The episode overall was, I would say it was okay. I mean, I really liked that actually Nathaniel was the one who saved the day. I do like that he saved the day. So that's nice. Like, they would, and this kind of shows that, late Marionette did the right thing, giving out these Kwamis to other people and building up the Miraculous, right? Because if she didn't do that, she would have lost. They would have lost because both her and Cat Noir were about to give up, the Miraculous, right? So I like that. This episode really proved that building up this team was a positive thing. But I think that's like the only thing I enjoyed about this episode. I did not enjoy the whole Marionette being sick thing. If she was just sick, I think that would have been one thing. And she had like a normal fucking sneeze, and that is something she didn't want Adrian to see. That she doesn't want him to see her sick because, I don't know, like she feels like, I don't know for whatever reason. But I don't like that they over-exaggerated her sneezing. That was so fucking powerful. Have we seen that before? No. So I feel like it's something very weird to just shove right in here. And I hated the snot. Maybe it also had to do with the snot color or something, but it just made me like cringe. And then the whole story about the mom not accepting the comics, I was kind of like, oh god. Because to me it felt like very cowardly of the people behind the show. Because they obviously wanted to do like a parent who's like against their son being a homosexual, like allegory. But they were afraid to actually do that. So they decided to just do it the way they did, but heavily imply, the anti-gay stuff. Because, for example, when Nathaniel's boyfriend said, like, oh, she doesn't approve of us, why would he say that if he just meant it being comic? It obviously wasn't. So I didn't like that. So if they were gonna do it as comics, actually, then they should have done what I said. They should have reversed the roles from Adrian and been that Nathaniel's boyfriend comes from a rich family that is supportive of him doing this creative work with comics and art and stuff like that, while Nathaniel comes from maybe like not a poor family, but maybe like a middle class family, and the mom is quite insecure of wanting to be like part of the upper crust. So she's kind of like, you know what, we have to just do that type of. I think that would make more sense, but because it wasn't. Yeah, no, like the more I'm thinking of this episode, it's kind of like, there's like one or two things I enjoyed, and everything else I think was just a mumbled mess. So this episode, probably like a 3 out of 9. I think the more I'm thinking about it, I kind of like, yeah, you know what, this probably, it's not the worst. The worst episode is still, holy shit, the Adrian episode with his grandparents, the one that I'm kind of like making a reference to. So, you know what, this episode reminds me a lot of that one, of the Adrian grandparents one. And it fumbles and it's shit just like that one. Yeah, and I do want to, so I'm going to end this in at the end. But there were 2 comments by Dee on my on Patreon, that is, for episode 11. They mentioned in episode 15, the ruler is the last for now. The next one, episode 9, is called Mr. Agrest. It's coming in September along other episodes. They're airing around 8 episodes once a return with emission. Episode 1, then in parentheses, 1 episode per week or 2 per week, I guess. So that's a pretty weird release schedule, I would say. I think that release schedule, it's actually even worse. Like, it reminds me a lot of like how Netflix are releasing Pokemon, which I think completely kills like the hype for it. When they release like 12 episodes every 3 months, you know? Like, for shows like this, you have to do weekly releases until the show is done. Doing it like this kills the momentum of it, in my opinion, when it comes to kid shows and stuff like that. Because you're getting like half, not even half, you get like a quarter or a fifth of the season every... Because I looked up and I think these batches of episodes they were released in April, right? And if the next ones are gonna be in September, like, Jesus Christ, like 6 months? No, it's not 6, right? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, so 5 months in between, 4 to 5 months, let's say. That's insane. So if it has something to do with production, then just wait until it's done, right? Or until you can start releasing weekly with occasional maybe hiatuses, like 1 or 2 week hiatus in between. I think that's fine. And then the other one was, that it was always releasing weirdly, and that they are releasing as they're finished production-wise, which is also very weird. The fact that this is how Miraculous was always released, like, to me, it's so weird. That's just what I wanted to read off Didi's comment right there. I guess I've never noticed, not only when it comes to Miraculous, but probably other shows, because I don't tend to watch shows as they come out. I tend to watch them as they've already been out for maybe some time, or if they're finished, or something. So I've always just watched in chronological order, which is the order that I like watching things in. I will say so far, when it comes to season 6, it hasn't mattered that much, I don't think. There are obviously certain things, like for example at the end of Sublimation. Like if I would have watched that one and then watched the episode that's probably going to be after it, with whoever that creep is, maybe that would hit more. Because now, when we watch that creep, I might even forget who he is or what he has done.